Thought I'd come out here and just take some time while the water's filling up and just walk through and check on everyone. It's kind of interesting. Everyone sticks together kind of. Like there's all the red Angus and the black cow for some reason. All the British whites are over here. And then all my Greg Judy South Poles over here, and then the calves are just kind of sprinkled out throughout. But I've been thinking a lot about, I've had some comments about black cattle versus white cattle versus red cattle, and how did we arrive at the determination we did, as far as the direction we're heading, because we are kind of, we got a little bit of everything, but we are kind of going in one direction, and that's towards red cattle, and particularly smaller framed red cattle. I'm not married to South Pole, right, these guys, or the red Angus, but there's no denying that these are the right size. And this is a cute one. This is a half South Pole, half British white heifer. Look at her. That's a red Angus heifer. See a little bit of size difference? Now granted, she's 2 months younger, but are you showing off? And these have a more beefy udder, and some of my older red Angus have their udders are a little too large, and you can see it in the size of the calves. But just the constant evaluation, I think, is critical if you're going to be a good stockman. Is you can't just say, oh, I got it, set it, and forget it. Look at the size of these things. They're just perfect. I don't know, are you guys glad to be here, or you wish you were back in Missouri, huh? Nice udders, small frame. I was talking to Greg about my concern, because I do want our cattle to be just a hair bigger than this and smaller than those red Angus, somewhere in the middle. And he observed that a lot of his customers who bought his cattle and brought them up north, maybe it's the richer grass or richer soil or whatever, they do end up a hair bigger in the 1,100 pound range, which is precisely where I want them. I'd like an 1,100 pound cow, 1,000, 1,100, and a 1,200 pound steer is just about perfect for me, for our circumstances, and for our customers. And so we have a juxtaposition. These, they're not full size yet. I think they're probably 800-900 pounds. And then these cows over here are probably just too big. We'll call it, we'll call it 1,300, 1,400 pounds, maybe, the bigger girls. Let's go look at them. Yeah, you can kind of see the size difference. So this is a 1.5 years old, and that's 2 years old, or 2.5, and they're roughly the same size, this red Angus and these South Poles. So we're continually I'm continually evaluating, just to try to find the sweet spot in size and durability, mothering, and fleshiness. So the reason we're getting out, we didn't go into black cattle, is pretty simple. We're on the cattle farm, and you can see there's just not a lot of shade out here. And if this whole section across the road here, that's all ours too. We're putting that into grass this spring. There's just not a lot of shade. And what I observed is that these red and white cattle were out eating in the heat of the day in July, and when we had more black cattle, and that girl even, she was in the shade. And so for an operation like ours, where we do want to raise steers, we have quite a few customers. We actually have more demand than we have supply. It's just we need something where they're going to be able to tolerate little to no shade in the heat of the summer, and thrive. And so I'm confident that if these guys can do the 100-degree days in Missouri, they can handle Minnesota. And we saw that the red Angus did fine, and the whites actually did fine too. And we just made the determination to go into something more readily available, which is the red animals. These British whites, getting something decent is pretty tough. And I'll give you a good example here. This is a beautiful bull calf, but he came out way too big calving wise. And he is stud. Look at him. This guy and this is the same age. You can see he's already got a neck on him. He's got decent balls. And he just is proud. I think he knows he's a good one. Yeah. He's pretty calm. I'm about 8 feet away from him and he's not doing much. So I like the look of them. They're just a little too big. They're just a little too big. And so this is the direction we're heading, primarily for shade and mothering. And really, I need to keep good condition in my ground. And big animals punch holes in my turf. So we're going to avoid that. I'm going to wrap it up. Color matters. They can eat better. They can handle shade tolerances better. And aren't they a nice looking bunch of cattle all together, huh? About as perfect a fall day as you could ask for, I think. We're going to be selling this guy. I got to put him up for sale. This is a bull we bought from another regenerative farmer. And he has Kit Pharaoh influenced genetics. And he's a great size. Short, low, and fat. Just what the doctor ordered in the first wave. But we're keeping all his daughters, so we're going to let him head on down the road. He's going to be 5 next year, so just hitting his prime, really. I'm 5 feet away from him, and he's just as calm as you'd like. Look at the neck on him, huh? So if anybody's interested, we're going to put him up for sale. Otherwise, I'll put an ad out for him, and we'll get him sold and, onto a new herd. What a beautiful animal. All right. Take care.